What's happening at Penn State? That's not a question to you. That's literally what Jesse asks me when he walks in the building every day. My default on this position was differently. We all remember James Franklin, overtime against Oregon, they lose, and then it's just kind of a dead-on-arrival performance against UCLA. Then they drop the Northwestern game, and he's fired just like that. The span of 17 days, he's fired. I thought it was ludicrous, still do. But you know what? I'm not a Penn State donor. I'm not a Penn State alum. It's not my program. It's your program. That's always my stance when this sort of thing happens. So you guys decided James Franklin wasn't good enough for you anymore. I just said, I don't think it's going to be easy to upgrade from James Franklin. So I didn't like the firing, more a matter of principle for me. Like my principle is always, if you don't have a definitive upgrade, don't pay someone not to coach for you. It's a pretty common sense stance. So I gather that Penn State thought differently, and Penn State thought there was no other choice. We got to fire him. We got to get rid of him so that we can start our coaching search. And the plan was there. The plan's just in place. That's what everyone thought. Penn State folks thought the plan was in place, and a grand slam was the plan. It's great, but that's not a plan. Hoping you can hit a grand slam is not a plan. Because if you swing and miss in baseball, it's just strike one, okay? They give you at least two more shots at it. In coaching searches, you swung for Mike Elko. You'll swing for Kalen DeBoer. Pete Nakos of On3 has his hot board right here on our screen. Mike Elko, you can cross his name off the list. He just re-upped with Texas A&M. I don't think Kalen DeBoer is a serious option for him. So what are we left with? And remember, we're looking to upgrade from James Franklin. As far as I can tell, there's no real contingency past the Grand Slam phase of the Penn State coaching search. So they missed on the Grand Slam. Now we got to hope for a home run? Do we think this list includes home runs? Do we think Clark Lee going up there would be a home run? Eli Drinkwitz from Missouri would be a home run. Jeff Brom, Matt Campbell, Manny Diaz, Brian Hartline, Will Stein, Joe Brady. There could be a future Hall of Famer on that list for all I know. And I've got my candidate on that list, which I'll talk about in a second. Point being, there's no definitive upgrade there from James Franklin. Anyone who suggests otherwise is trying to fool themselves. You're not going to fool me on it. So right now, out of all the coaches available on the market, you know who the best option for Penn State is? James Franklin, but you can't go rehire James Franklin. Which brings me back to my original point. What were we doing here? So what are the candidates seeing? This is one of the most critical pieces of feedback that I need to remind people about the Penn State coaching search. I love the program, so I got no knock on the program. I'm not looking to take over as head coach there. The people who are looking at the job that could potentially be getting offers and are qualified to be the head coach at Penn State, here's what they see. You're going to pay them a lot of money. That's great. They're going to compete in the Big Ten. That's great. You just fired a 10-win head coach, which means the replacement's got to do as good or better than that guy was doing. Hey, really quick timeout. We'll get right back to the video. Do me one favor. Make sure you're subscribed. It helps us keep the show free. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps us keep doing college football year-round, and we appreciate it. All right, back to the video. And you tore your recruiting class to shreds voluntarily. You didn't have to fire Franklin when you did. You fired him when you did. You've gotten very little traction, at least as far as I can tell, on your coaching search. All you've done is find out who doesn't want your job so far. And in the aggregate, Jesse, how many decommitments so far? 17 decommits. You normally sign like 25 or 30 in a class. 17 decommitments so far. So what prospective future candidates look at is, dude, I got to be a double-digit win per season guy just to make these folks happy. They're going to want to win immediately. I may have a really, really big rebuild on my hands. And for what? That's what they see. I'm just telling you that's what they see. So, Bradley, do me a favor. Throw up the Nakos hot board right quick. On three's Pete Nakos' hot board. Mike Elko not happening. Clark's there. Eli's there. Here's what's funny. I don't know. Like, I've heard the level of seriousness some of these other candidates are. The one, like my guy on there is Matt Campbell. And I've spoken about Matt a lot on the show. Matt Campbell's biggest flaw is he doesn't really play the game the same way other guys do. He refuses to be a candidate for this stuff during a season, and therefore his name is not really involved in a lot of coaching searches. Because the earliest that he's going to allow his name to be involved in a coaching search is the end of November. And even then, you come check on him and he may or may not be interested. But the people who push back on Matt Campbell as a legitimate candidate just floor me. Their reasons just floor me. I'm not going to relitigate all this. Matt Campbell's a stud as a head coach. I think he is perfectly cut out for the Penn State job. Like the edge, the grit, the attention to detail, the different way you have to sell Penn State, the understanding of placing premium on eval and development, the magnetism that the guy's programs have, how much discount players take to play for him, and staffers. Everything you would want in a Penn State coach he has. Here's what turns a lot of people off. And this is what's really stupid about this whole process. Matt Campbell sucks at promoting Matt Campbell because he doesn't really care to do it. If I changed nothing about that guy other than publicizing the head coaching jobs he has turned down, he would be viewed as a premium candidate for some of these jobs. It's not my business to float that. He can have his representation do it if he wants to, or if his representation's comfortable with it being done, then it could happen. Matt Campbell's been the guy for a number of the big openings over the past several years. And I'm firmly convinced that there is a subset of maybe the Penn State fan base that if they were equipped with nothing more than that information, would all of a sudden be totally open to Matt Campbell. Because all of a sudden it's like, whoa, he was good enough for them? Maybe he is good enough for us. That's how stupid some of this stuff is. Also, Pat Fitzgerald's just sitting there. As much as I tout Matt Campbell, Pat Fitzgerald, who really says no to that? Especially if staffing properly? I don't know. Our show has amazing numbers. We've done some amazing things with the show over the past 4 years. I am eternally grateful to you guys for even putting us in position to where we can own the show. We get to do whatever we want to with it. We get to broadcast it whenever we want. We get to go however long we want. Just kind of an amazing thing, an amazing place to be in the evolution of sports media and stuff like that. That's boring. I don't want to talk about that. There's something we wanted to do with the show for a long time. For a long time, we wanted to take ownership of the show, right? And then we did that. So once you have ownership of the show, you can kind of do whatever you want. And then the next thing we wanted to do is we wanted to start having live events. I don't mean taking this show and doing the show live. I mean having live events. Full-on stage, sold-out theater, interactive live events. And I am very happy to announce that in about a month, a little less than a month, we're going to do that. And tonight I can announce that Friday, December 5th, the night before the SEC championship game at the Buckhead Theater in Atlanta, Georgia at 7 p.m., we will have our first live show. Tickets are on sale as we speak at patestatematerial.com. There's a live events tab there. We expect this to sell out very quickly. So to our friends there in Atlanta, maybe to our friends in College Station who plan on being in Atlanta, maybe our friends in Tuscaloosa plan on being in Atlanta, maybe our friends in Athens plan on being in Atlanta. And even if they're not, it's a short drive. You could make it there anyway. Or maybe you just live in Macon or Columbus or Chattanooga and you're a friend of the program and you want to make your way down. Going to have some surprise guests there. Going to have exclusive merch that you can only acquire at said live event. Going to have tons of giveaways. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really interactive. I want to stress again, this is not us broadcasting an episode of the show. There is no live feed of this. There is no replay of this. The only way you're seeing this one is if you're there in person. And the fun thing about that format is you can kind of say anything you want to. Tell any story you want to. Throw any staffer under the bus you want to. After all, no one's going to tell. No one's going to tell. It's just amongst us, right? So we're looking very forward to this night before the SEC championship game there in Atlanta, December 5th.